All right, let's get right into it. Tonight, we're breaking down a massive Western Conference playoff matchup. The series is tied, the pressure is cranked all the way up, and the defending champion Denver Nuggets are walking into a lion's den against a red-hot Minnesota Timberwolves team. So, let's dive in.
So right off the bat, the betting market has drawn its line in the sand. You've got the Denver Nuggets as the minus 134 favorites. That means you'd have to bet $134 just to win 100. And on the other side, the home team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're sitting there as the plus 114 underdogs. This is our starting point. It's the surface level story that everyone sees.
But as any sharp bettor will tell you, that opening line, it's just the beginning of the conversation. Our job tonight is to peel back all those layers of public opinion and recency bias to find the real data-driven edge. So, the big question is, where's the hidden value in this incredibly important Game 3?
What we're looking at here is a classic playoff scenario, right? The series shifts to Minneapolis. The Timberwolves are riding this huge wave of emotion after that comeback win in Game 2. I mean, the stakes just could not be higher, and you better believe that intensity is baked into every single number we're about to look at.
Okay, so let's get into the numbers. It's time to separate the story everyone's talking about from what the stats actually say. Look, momentum is a real thing, but the underlying metrics, they tell us who these teams really are over the long haul. And this is where we start to find our analytical advantage.
So what's really interesting here is when you put them side by side. Denver, you can see, has a slight edge in offensive efficiency, and critically, they take way better care of the basketball, about 1.5 fewer turnovers a game. But look at that last line. The true team stat. Now, this is our composite score. It weighs things like shot quality, rebounding rates, foul discipline, all to measure a team's core stability. And this is where the gap really starts to show. An 8.5-point advantage for Denver. This single number, this is the bedrock of our entire analysis. This difference in the true team stat is how our model even begins to calculate the final point spread. It reflects this fundamental advantage in efficiency and execution that honestly often gets lost in the noise of one game's final score. And this really gets to the heart of why that number is so important. In the total chaos of the NBA playoffs, consistency is king. This 8.5-point gap suggests that while Minnesota can absolutely have explosive nights, Denver is the more fundamentally sound, more reliable team. And that is a massive asset when you're going into a hostile road environment. So, we have the raw data. Now what? Well, now we feed it into our model to calculate what we call the true edge. This is where we take all those key variables, from net ratings to bench production, and synthesize them to generate a final win probability.
So our formula breaks it down into 4 key parts. We start with that net rating differential, which we know already favors Denver. Then we account for Minnesota's momentum and their slight edge in bench strength, which is huge for game variance, especially in those late rotations. And finally, we make some small adjustments for any injuries, like Peyton Watson being out for Denver.
And here's what it spits out. After processing all of those factors, the model gives the Denver Nuggets a 56% chance of winning this game. Now, it's not a lock, not by any means, but it is a clear and statistically significant edge that suggests that negative 134 moneyline actually holds some real value.
A 56% edge is good, but we can get way more specific than that. Let's drill down from the team level to individual player performances. This is where we can find those really high confidence props to build an even stronger betting position.
This entire game could honestly hinge on this one matchup. You've got Nikola Jokic, the ultimate offensive engine, against Rudy Gobert, one of the most disruptive defensive forces in the league. Our efficiency metrics show that Gobert's presence is the single biggest factor keeping this game from being a projected blowout. He literally compresses Denver's offense and creates variance. It's the battle to watch.
But even with that tough matchup, our model has identified 3 props with over 95% confidence. These are the cornerstones. Jokic grabbing at least 8 rebounds, and both teams' main scorers, Jamal Murray and Anthony Edwards, each getting at least 20 points. These are pretty much the most bankable outcomes of the entire game.
And if you're looking at some other strong plays, the model is really confident in Jokic's playmaking, projecting 9 or more assists at a 92% clip. We also see good value in Karl Anthony Towns pulling down 9 or more boards for Minnesota. These are those great secondary plays that can really add value to any bet slip.
All right, we've broken down the stats, the model, the players. Now it's time to put it all together. This final section is all about taking this analysis and turning it into a clear, actionable verdict on where the smart money is leaning.
But first, a quick look behind the curtain. It's really important to understand the concept of sportsbook liability. This is just the outcome that would cost the sportsbooks the most money. Basically, it tells us which side the public is betting on heavily.
And this is crucial for this game. The book's biggest liability is a Timberwolves win. The public is buying into that home court advantage, they're buying into the momentum from Game 2. And this creates that classic scenario where our data-driven pick goes directly against the popular narrative.
So, it's no surprise that our model's final predictions align with that contrarian view. We project the Nuggets to win by more than 2.5 points, and we've got a 58% confidence level that the total points will stay under 233.5, mostly thanks to that tough playoff pace and Gobert's defensive impact.
And all of this culminates in our final recommended play, a 5-leg parlay that combines our strongest convictions, the Nuggets to win straight up, the game to go under, and our 3 highest confidence player props. The model gives this combined bet a very solid 71% confidence rating.
So there you have it, a deep dive into the numbers behind Game 3. The data, it points clearly to Denver's consistency and their efficiency as a true edge. But the narrative, the home crowd, the emotional momentum, that all favors Minnesota. So it leaves us with one final question for you. Are you going to bet with the model, or are you going to bet with the moment?